Right then, I think this is working. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Borderline Podcast with me, your host, Andrew Willox. Notice good morning there rather than good evening. We've changed the language since last year. We're making changes and we're moving forward. No, seriously. Hope you've all been doing well. It's been a while since I've been up for a solo cast since last year, and we're back to it this year. About to start a new season of the Borderline Podcast, which I'm really excited about as well to get behind. And so I'm not actually doing this podcast from home where I used to do them. I actually went on the dog walk just now with Bella, just around Imhoff Golf Course. It's Monday morning. It's around about 10 o'clock in the morning. It's a little bit cold, but I feel really good. And this is going to be the start of a new little thing that I'm going to be doing on the Borderline Podcast. Just bear with me for a minute. I'll explain it. Sorry, my dog's just trying to work out. My dog's having to pee or poo, just to pee. So as you know, I put a bit of the hiatus on the Borderline Podcast last year. I wasn't really feeling too good. Again, the depression and the anxiety, but not so much the anxiety, more the depression was just building up again. End of October, November. I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing. I was finding it really hard to, what I felt, produce anything good, that's relatable, informative, and ultimately helpful for you guys. So I took a break, and it's been really healthy. And honestly, I can't tell you how much gains I've made in my mental health. That means my sleep is unbelievably better, like more than 100 times better. I couldn't tell you the last time that I slept for less than 4 hours. Now I know that many people go, "Oh, well, that's not very long." When you got depression, when you got insomnia, 4 hours is a bit of a luxury at times. But really, consistently, I've been hitting about 6.5, 7 hours, even 8 hours some nights. Yeah, I'm still waking up a little bit earlier than I would have liked, but at the end of the day, I'm not waking up that groggy. I'm not waking up that tired. I'm waking up pretty good and I'm getting stuff done. That's another problem that I had last year. I wasn't getting any shit done. I was setting myself targets that were actually manageable, regardless of how I was feeling. But when you do start feeling, you're going to be a bit of a hypocrite from what I just said for the first time. When you are feeling that hard, it's hard to know that you're doing good stuff, is what I mean by that. And the issue that I had, the big issue that I had last year, especially with doing the solo podcasts, was that I was always doing them after the effect. What I mean by that is I would feel shit, so I wouldn't do a podcast. I'd wait until I feel a little bit better. Maybe that'd be a couple of days, maybe that'd be a week. Now I'm sure a lot of you who's had anxiety, depression, or whatever you suffer with, will relate on this, and that it's very hard to explain that feeling when you're not feeling it. And that was something that I was really struggling with last year. And it was hard to then be really true to myself, because I was saying stuff when I was feeling better. And I know this sounds horrible. I wasn't getting to the nitty gritty of just how shit I felt. And that's why I started the Borderline Podcast, was total transparency, be open, be honest, and try and help others. That's where these little mics come into play, is that I'm not going to set myself unrealistic goals like I did last year. I'm just going to try and get on when I'm out for a dog walk. The golf course looks reasonably quiet because I don't really walking about talking to myself when it's really busy. But that's the idea, that if I do feel shit, I can literally just shove on a microphone when I'm going out for a walk. The walk will probably make me feel better, and you'll actually maybe you'll even hear the change in my voice, the way that I'm talking, the words that I'm using. All these are really important when we talk about mental health, and they often get overlooked. Is that the words that we use in the narrative and that we speak in, is that I'm quite self-aware. I can pick out now that when I start using a certain terminology, I tend to use that terminology when I'm feeling shit. Now that can be, I actually thought I'd lost my microphone. I was just walking about speaking into nothing for ages. I swear a lot not swear a lot anyway, but I swear a hell of a lot more. Hell's not a swear, right? When I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling shitty. Sorry, never swear. And I explain everything with a F word before it, and then usually how awful that is. And I'll keep on saying those word patterns over and over and over again. So I actually started listening to a lot of the Borderline Podcast episodes last year, and I was actually able to pick out, even when I was being quite open and honest, the errors in what I was saying, from being self-aware. So that's why I'm doing the kind of mic'd up ones. I've also got another microphone. So if anybody would ever like to join me, we don't need to talk about mental health. We can talk about anything you want. If it's just a matter of just getting you outdoors, we don't even need to do the mics. If you think you can get better by joining me on a little 20, 25-minute dog walk, maybe one day a week, maybe one day a fortnight, you give me a message, because that's what I want to try and do this year. Last year, I lost myself. I'm being honest when I say this part. This is the real part. I lost myself last year, and if anybody knows me quite well, I'm sure a lot of you do. Yeah, I love my job. I love my regular job. I do. I say I hate it. I say I hate it to a lot of people. I do hate it at times, but my job at the P factory, I love the guys there and the girls. Yeah, like any other factory. You go through peaks and troughs of how you feel about some people at times, of course, but at the end of the day, we're also there doing their job. And last year, I think it's when the podcast started getting a bit of traction, and it kind of took me by surprise. I kind of got a little bit mismanaged almost, in the fact that I was just like, oh, this could actually be a way out and a new career. And I got really excited by that, and I got excited too early. So I think I was overlooking like the main goal of the podcast, and that's just to spread a little bit of hope, spread a little bit of awareness. All of a sudden, we're looking at a different dynamic. That how can I make money out of this? How can I, how can I get it? How can I raise the platform up? And as anybody will know, that if you're doing a little bit of content creating, these things do not happen overnight, unless you're some miracle that you get a viral video these days. It's a lot harder work than what it makes out. And so that's something that I also want to improve on this year for myself. Just kind of my social media nervousness is what I'm going to call it. Just get a little bit more relaxed, just to be a bit more myself, because I noticed that when I think of an idea, I get really excited. I'm like, right, go do the idea. And that tends to be my better bits of work. It's when I sit and think, that could work. Well, this could maybe work. I know that sounds stupid, because you should take time to think about what you're doing. But being impulsive seems to get me the best rewards. And it's about trying to manage that, of recognizing when that impulsiveness isn't also handy as well. As a lot of you have probably read or seen, a lot of posts go up, a lot of stuff goes up, and then it gets taken straight back down immediately. And that's because I've done something on impulse that I'm not happy with. So the impulsiveness is good, yeah, when it works. It's not very handy when 10 minutes later you're like, shit, that's actually awful. You've just wasted half an hour making something that's immediately going to get taken down and never used again. So yeah, that's why I've been like a lot less active on social media of late as well. Is this that I only really want to post stuff that's got value. Again, going into my own self again for a little bit, I feel pretty good. So I'm not really wanting to hit on. Oh, there's people coming. Oh, this is the first time I'm going to look like a very silly person. I'll hold the microphone so they know what I'm doing. Good job, Bella's having a pee anyway. Come on then, good girl. Yeah, I totally lost my chain of thought then. Yeah, I wasn't not been posting as much. So, but they've got a doggy. Hopefully, I not get chased with them this week. That was awful last week. Poor me and Bella got chased. I don't think I would have got chased if it wasn't for Bella, but it happened. It ruined what was an alright little recording. That, to be fair, I wasn't actually planning on releasing that one anyway. Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Come on, you get scared, you get afraid from that doggy. No, you want to go back to the doggy. Hey, come on. This way. Come on. Sorry about that. There's going to be... Right, Bells. Hey, Bella, come on. Apologies yet again. That was Bella wanting to go and chase the dog this time. Right, come on. Yeah, there's going to be very minimal editing done on this. If I don't, unless there's something that I say that I really shouldn't say, there's going to be no editing done with these. I want these real. So, that's enough about me. How are you guys been? It's 2025. It's the start of February. Anybody been getting a little bit overwhelmed because it's the start of the year and you feel that you should be doing something and you're not quite getting there yet? Or are you killing it? Are you crushing it? I've been quite well. Diet's going pretty well. Really happy with how I'm getting back in the gym. Strength's back up to kind of maybe what I was post-COVID, something like that, post-COVID. And we're doing it naturally this time, which is a lot more fun. And diet's good. Finances are getting a little bit better too. All that shit from last year, they're finally falling into place. And Yeah, maybe been lacking the last couple of weeks on a little bit of self-work. Else, come on, come here, get go. A little bit of self-love and self-work. Taking a couple of baths, I've done a little bit of meditation. Still doing a lot of good bit of breathing work at night time before I go to sleep. That's probably what's coming to acting insomnia quite well. I'm learning a lot from my coach Stuart, who, by the way, if you've not checked out on Instagram already, go check him out, Stuart Lee Coaching. The guy's a saint, teaches me stuff weekly, which then I put into action, and it really does make a difference to me. Sorry, Belle is doing that stupid thing where she's just rolling around the ground in the scent, but I can't actually see what she's rolling around. Come on. Yeah, it's getting a little bit windier across this part of the golf course, isn't it, Bells? And the swans are there, your friends. We actually got chased by swans down in Wheeler. We get chased by a lot of things, me and Bells. Yeah, that was frightening. So, yeah, so some good breathing in that is really helping. That would be my biggest tip for anybody so far, if you're listening on this much. Start introducing some very, very easy, light, easy breathing work. Some nice diaphragmatic breaths. What I mean by the diaphragmatic breaths is really pull that air into your stomach. Get it right down into the pit there, hold it for a couple of seconds, force that air out. It doesn't have to be fast, it doesn't have to be slow, but you want every bit of that oxygen coming back out your body, carbon dioxide even. And yeah, when you push out that air, think of it, focus like a laser beam. Like, sorry, I realise I've got a mic on. Sorry if that just made you go deaf. Yeah, try and think of it like a laser beam, like you're really pushing that air back out. And just visualise that that's a lot of the strength, tension, and anxiety. Because you know what? That's exactly what it is. See, when you feel those bubbly little feelings in your chest when you're exhaling, that is the reaction of cortisol being reduced and serotonin replacing it. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel relaxed. Okay? Trust me on that one. That's the biggest gain that I've made so far, and yet it's so simple. And again, talking into this year, what we want to achieve are these small, simple changes that we can put into our lives. They're going to make a hell of a difference for us, okay? And we can all do this sort of stuff. I know and I understand how impossibly hard it can feel at times, all right? I really can get that. And I know at times, like I've said time and time before, getting out of bed, that can be a small win. Anything can be a small win to you, okay? You don't need to tell everybody about it. You don't need to say that my goals for the week are get out of bed for 5 days. You don't need to tell them. If that's your goal, that's your goal. And if you achieve that, then well done, okay? Goals are circumstantial and subjective to the individual, just like mental health is. So don't treat your goals with lesser, more earnest than somebody else's goals. If somebody else's goal is to go run a marathon and your goal is to go run a mile, they're both just as important as each other. Like I said, they're subjective to you. So, never be feared. If it feels like you're getting a little bit stuck and you're maybe not getting towards those goals that you'd set, take a breather. Stop thinking about them. You lived fine without those goals. Reevaluate. Have a look. Is there honestly anything more that you can be doing? Can you do something more to improve your lifestyle? If you can, action it. If you feel like it. If you feel like these goals are going to be underachievable, you don't want to burden yourself anymore, it's time to scrap them and maybe think of some easier goals. Easier goals doesn't mean easier life. That means small wins. Okay? Easier achievable goals are not minuscule, they're small wins. Every time you overcome a small win, you need to give yourself a pat on the back and you need to, congratulate yourself on doing something for you. These are the small wins that are going to add up more with depression and anxiety that will ultimately help you achieve it. Okay. Oh, I tell you what, walking and talking, it's a bit of a workout in itself, right? Bells, come on, I'm going to go back to the car. Tell you what, it's an absolute beautiful morning. It really is a beautiful morning. And it's 15 minutes already, yeah? Get some pictures. Yeah, that would be nice. Hey, take some pictures for when I'm around doing this podcast as well, because I'm going to have something to fill it with over the back, aren't I? Oh, my God, yeah, I actually got the new Google 9 Pixel so I could do these, because my old Huawei, God rest its soul, still the greatest phone that I've ever used. Thank you, China, for being so far advanced in what we believe you are, sorry. Yeah, I actually got that because there's the charging port no matter why it didn't work. So if I wanted to start doing these podcasts, I needed to get a new phone. So I opted for the Google Pixel 9. It's fucking awful. I know I will get used to it, but it's just like I was saying this to Lefty at the gym this morning, right? Everybody talks about, like I say there, about Chinese technology. Now it is how it's behind. Is it fuck? I got that phone in like 2018, 2019, and there's things on my new Google Pixel I can't do. I used to be able to do very easily on that. So it really isn't that great. Well done, Bells. Let's have a little pee. Well done. She's just coming out with heat as well, which is good. Which is good. Hey, come on, you. Good girl. Good girl. You're such a good little girl. She really is. It makes a difference in my life and my mental health. I'm not going to encourage everybody to go get a dog if you've got depression or anxiety, because at times it can be testing, but it is a good way of getting you out of the house. I love it. I love it, and it's nice and warm here. Everybody else out with their doggies. There's a big golden retriever across there. Somebody else has just got a spaniel. I love it up here. It really is my favourite place in Imo. I just never get bored of walking around here. Well, you know, I would have played golf. It just actually makes me want to get really back into golf. It just looks so green and beautiful. Even the fields. Yeah. And of course, every time I walk around here now, I haven't done that Big Cat podcast, I'm on the lookout again. It's got me hungry. So it makes sense to me why it would be around on this golf course. But it was. You know what I've seen it twice. It's actually annoying me, yeah. My mum made a good point. I should have actually maybe spoken about other sightings around Reston and that, Cairn Cross, whatnot. Anyway, we're nearly back at the car. I've no idea if this would have been useful talk or if this is just me slandering that I've just wasted 20 minutes of your day. Apologies if I have, but there's got to be a lot more of it, so you can choose whether you want to tune in or not. I can't do that bit for you. If there is anything that you'd like me to cover, little short topics, like I say, these are going to be 20, 25 minute podcasts. Do just drop me a message. I'll do my little bit of research. Sorry, Bella's like running now. And I'll try and deliver on the other side for you, okay? I might say, if anybody at all would ever like to join me on a little walk, don't need to be mic'd up. Just give me a message. If you would like to be mic'd up and you'd like to feature in a podcast episode similar to this, again, just drop me a message or you email me at theborderlinepodcast1@gmail.com. Okay, that's us back at the car. Well, that was fun. That was really fun. I'm just going to unclip this. Guys, if you made it this far, we're having a lovely Monday. And yeah, go kill it this week. Have a good one, okay? This has been Andrew Willox with the Borderline Podcast. Good night.